Welcome to WagerTalk Today, the gold standard of sports betting shows where we talk the talk and walk the walk. Loaded show. We got our play of the day. Ended last week real strong. Plays of the day are now 10-4. Gianni's going to be joining us, do the Steam report, get us started on a Monday. Crackman's going to join us. We've got stories, we've got rants, we've got props. And then Steve Merril is going to join us, breaking down a couple of MLB games. We're talking Red Sox, Tigers, Reds, and Cubs. Get his thoughts on the NBA. So, no time to waste. We got to get to the play of the day. Our boy, D. Wade, gets us there, and we're going to go to another small number. We're going to take Jordan Clarkson over 5.5 points. One of the reasons why I want to make this play today is if he goes over, we're probably not getting 5.5 anymore. It's going to be 6.5, and then we got to lay off. Jordan Clarkson has had 7+ points in the last 6 games. He had 8 points last time he played Philly. He's getting about 17 minutes per game with the normal game flow, and he's that spark. He's that spark that comes off the bench. If other guys are shooting cold, he comes in. He gets to play against the bench players of the other team. So Jordan Clarkson over 5.5 points is going to be the play of the day. Dan is with us he's physically here. He's just not physically on camera because construction. Construction.
I don't, Andy, I'm sure they can tell that I don't sound like how I usually do yet. The carpet's getting redone upstairs. So to save you from the banging, the loudness, and just the all over disarray of the office, Andy, you'll be solo, but I'm here with you in spirit, and I am backing this Jordan Clarkson prop. So let's make it 11-4. Let's ride, buddy.
All right. Being with me in spirit's pretty much the exact same thing. So a couple games, a couple of MLB games, guys, keep your eyes on for weather. Mets, Rockies, Guardians, Royals, and Reds, Cubs. Potential weather in those games. So just tread a little lightly before you make bets in those. So, all right, let's bring in Gianni. Let's recap the weekend, talk about upcoming plays, talk about the day. Happy Monday, Gianni. How are you?
Thank you, brother. Good, very good. Coming off a nice winner in college basketball, in NBA. Playoffs just been money, man. Right now, going into today, I've given out 53 bets in the NBA playoffs. I'm exactly 64% ATS. And on those 4%, I'm 28-1, 71%. I bring that up because I fired a 4% already. That package is up and available at WagerTalk. 4% number still available. And we'll be adding more to that package as well. So pretty good. I didn't have much. I went 1-2 in the UFC. I think 1 dog, 2 faves. Not much there. Mostly NBA's where it's been for me. And I got a future still alive with Carolina and Buffalo in the NHL playoffs. And I'll be going to Newark for this week's UFC 328. UFC's flying me out on Wednesday. So I will be there on the ground getting as much solid info for that card as possible. So big week of action ahead. So hopefully start off with a winning Monday for everyone.
Are you going to have a talk with UFC of all the cards they fly you to, Newark?
I don't have that choice. Last night was Vancouver. Places. The good thing is I'm not far from. I could rent a car and drive to Philly because I'm going to be there a couple of days, and you're across the river to New York. So it's not really a bad location. There's a lot of good food, believe it or not, in Newark. A lot of Italian spots in North Jersey. So I'm excited to go back to the East Coast, to be honest with you.
All right. Well, let's get into a Steam report. I don't think we have any day baseball games. I think the Mets and the Rockies is kind of the big one with it's cold. It's kind of miserable. I don't know if they're going to move up the start time on that. But what are we seeing? Because the rest should be in evening baseball. What are you seeing?
Yep. Here's what we got so far in Major League Baseball. Heavy dose of sides. Start off 9:55. Milwaukee -105 and the over 8. 958 Colorado +135. They bet that Colorado team almost every night. 960 San Francisco +130. 968 over 8 and 8.5 Cleveland, Kansas City. 970 the Angels -125. 972 Houston +175. And then 974 Seattle, which had multiple follow through 120, 125, and -130 on Seattle. Nothing to report, Andy, in the NHL for tonight. Nothing sharp, which is why the lines are pretty much stable from where those openers were. But we do have some action in the NBA. And don't forget, these lines have been up for a few days since the Sixers-Knicks went final, and we knew the T-Wolves and Spurs matchup. And here's what we got. They went over immediately in the Sixers-Knicks, went over 210.5, 211, 211.5, 212. That's when they jumped the whole point and went to 213. So it shows you that the books don't want to overreact, even with sharp money, so that they're willing to move it at half-point increments, not full-point increments on limit bets early on. But then you saw once it was confirmed, like multiple groups got involved, they just bumped that up quickly. And that's why you're looking at about 213.5. But there'll be more public money on the under than the over so far. That's what I'm seeing from the recreational bettors. And I wouldn't be surprised also to see even some sharp money come back, because you got to remember, over 210.5 and 213, two completely different numbers. And a lot of times these groups that get out ahead, they play a lot of middles. They scalp a lot of games, especially those that do overnights. And then in that second game, they took the points with Minnesota, a lot of points there. They took 14.5 and 14, and they also went over. In that one, the public's betting it over also, which is why you're seeing that line climb like it has. But they went over at 216. That was the highest that I saw in any of the counts that I have access to. But I'm seeing as high as 218 in my sharpest outs right now. So definitely there's another group out there hitting that over at 217. So over in both games tonight. At least that's what the sharps like.
Yeah, I see the line. It was 12.5 or when I started prepping for the show. It's already 13.5 on Spurs and Timberwolves on DraftKings. So kind of I don't know, man. Laying that big of a points, I wouldn't bet the Timberwolves, but man, that seems like a lot of points in the playoffs. But then again,
it does, and you have. Sorry, not that to interrupt you. More importantly, with this matchup, it seems like the Philly Knicks matchup is a bigger advantage than Minnesota San Antonio. And here's what I mean. Okay, power rating wise, I got my updated power ratings, and we update them every couple games in the playoffs. Like the power ratings have changed for these playoff teams from the beginning till now. And here's what we have for Philadelphia and the Knicks. I have Philadelphia as 14th best team in the NBA. I now have the Knicks 4th. All right, so there's 10 teams in between Philly and the Knicks. Flip side, I have San Antonio as the 2nd best team in the NBA. I have Minnesota as the 6th best team in the NBA. So I only have a 4 position drop there between Minnesota and the Spurs. And here's the data to back it up. All right. Minnesota, 10th offensively, 12th defensively. So balanced against the 20th toughest strength of schedule. Spurs, 4th offensively, 6th defensively against the 24th toughest schedule. Good balance, just like Minnesota. Weaker strength of schedule, more impressive data offensively and defensively, but not that significantly. Where on the Philly and the Knicks, here's the big difference. That offensively, I got Philly 17th, 14th defensively, Knicks 13th offensively, top 3 defensively. But strength of schedule is day and night. Philly's had the 6th toughest strength of schedule. The Knicks, the 29th toughest strength of schedule. And you saw how that mattered in Boston and Philly, where Boston hadn't been tested. Very easy strength of schedule. Philly pushed them to the brink, got the W there. So it seems like the narrative more than what I see on paper. Again, the seeding matters on how they're seeded, but power rating wise, I was a little bit surprised to see how big of a favorite San Antonio is in game 1.
Yeah, so the people are asking about your power ratings. Is it taking into account the injuries? Because we know DiVincenzo is out, and what makes it tough is Io's questionable. Let me click here and see. Yeah, questionable with a calf. They're saying Edwards is questionable. I'd be stunned if he plays. The
line's telling us he's not playing. The line's
that's
telling
what
us
I think.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes.
Okay, so,
and that's where value over replacement comes in. And sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. Like the other day with Philly and Boston, where that line kept dropping, and we thought there was more value on the Boston side because they were over adjusting for the injured player. Here, I think that they did the same thing, except I think we got it right. And that's what the line reflects, meaning it's doing the same thing where the line's dropping. But I think this time it really is warranted where they overreacted. I think we got it wrong last time with the power rating in the Philly-Boston matchup. But here, I do think the injuries are factored in correctly. And the fact that this line's dropping down to 12.5, I think reflects that. I wish I would have took the 14.5 with Minnesota. But that's the thing with NBA, and we've had to deal with it throughout the entire season, which is the injuries. And more importantly, is this player sitting out? Is he not playing? So, like, you've had to deal with it throughout the season, which gives you enough experience doing it. And we have data on replacement players, but it's getting it right or getting it wrong. And like I said, I admit it. I tell you when I'm right and I tell you when I'm wrong. And in the game 7 between Boston and Philly, we got that one wrong. We thought the injured player wasn't worth what the market reflected based on our ratings. But here I do think we got it right with Minnesota and San Antonio. Again, we constantly adjust, just like with baseball. We're doing it with the NBA. We're doing it with the NHL. It's kind of like catching up. And more importantly, with power ratings, you want to get ahead. You don't want to be constantly feeding it data and then going back, like back testing. That doesn't do you any good. You kind of want to be forward looking with them, like kind of projecting to a degree, but at the same time, not over, like have it reflect the data, but at the same time, be more predictive than looking through the rear view mirror. And that's where we're going to get it right and going to get it wrong sometimes when it comes with these power ratings. But real quickly, before I let you guys go, still Oklahoma City, still the best team, followed by San Antonio. And obviously New York, Boston's out of it, but power rating wise, they'd still be a top 5 team. But going into today, the best team in the East is New York, who would be about a 2.5, 3-point favorite, underdog to Oklahoma City on a neutral court.
What are we seeing in baseball here? I know you went over some games, but I mean just some overall.
Power rating wise, yes.
Yeah, yes. The Braves are winning 71% of their games. The Cubs are at 65%. The Yankees are at 67%. So just curious what you're seeing.
Here's what I like the most, that what we're looking at right now in standings and what the standings aren't and what they're going to be are two completely different division, the standings that we're looking at. Let me backtrack here real quickly and tell you what I'm talking about. Right now, let me pull up the standings and tell you what my power ratings and standings show compared to what is out there right now. I'll just start off with the American League, where Cleveland, Detroit, that one's right. We have it kind of that same way. We just have Detroit on top of Cleveland. Yankees, Tampa Bay, we have that the same way, Yankees and Tampa Bay. When we get down to the West, and right now it's Athletics, Texas, and Seattle. We have Athletics finishing third. So we have Seattle first, Texas second in that one. We expect LA to play better. They've only, they won 37% of their games. They'll win about 41% of their games. And Houston, which was expected to be good, they're not. They'll be better than they are. They've won 40%. They'll be at about 47, 48. So Houston has a lot of ground to make up. That's a team you want to be looking at. Real quickly, in the NL, I look at the Central. Chicago's exactly what they should be looking at, the first place team. The problem is they're not going to win 65% of their games. When the season ends, they'll win about 56, 57. And behind them will be Cincinnati. Right now, behind them will be Milwaukee. Forgive me. It's Cincinnati who's behind them right now, and Milwaukee's in 4th place. That's going to change. Milwaukee will be in 2nd place, and Cincinnati will finish in 4th. The only team worse than Cincinnati is going to be St. Louis, who's 20-14. When the season ends, St. Louis will not be a 500 team. You heard that here first. St. Louis has won 59% of their games. When the season ends, St. Louis will not be a 500 team. Finally, in the West, Dodgers where are they sitting at right now? They've won 62% of their games. That's what they're going to do for the season. They're exactly where they should be. It's San Diego that's going to drop. San Diego's won 60% of their games. They will finish in second, but they'll only win about 84 games. So they'll be about 52%. So look for a drop from San Diego for sure. And even a team like Arizona. Well, they'll be there. They'll be below 500. And power rating wise, my top 5 in Major League Baseball going into today are LA Dodgers, number 1, number 2 offense, number 1 defense, weak strength of schedule though. Yankees, number 2, Cubs, number 3, Brewers, number 4, Braves, number 5. Those are the top 5 teams in Major League Baseball heading into this week. No surprise. All of those teams have the 26th or easier strength of schedule. No surprise. The worst teams in the league, the Rockies, had the second toughest strength of schedule, followed by the Nationals with the first toughest strength of schedule, Angels with the 4th toughest strength of schedule, Marlins, those teams, it's not by accident, they're bad. Giants, 6th toughest strength of schedule. That stuff matters. That's why they're losing ball games. So a lot of info I shared in baseball. Rewind that, put that together. You'll be able to isolate a couple teams to bet on, a couple teams to fade going into this week.
All right. Yeah, Acuna got hurt against the Braves. Didn't look as a hamstring. That's going to be a month at least, probably, with him out of the lineup. So we'll see. We'll see. So, Gianni, what do you have up for everyone today?
All right, my package is up. NBA playoff pass with 4%. More will be added there. UFC package should go up later today. I'm doing the John Anik podcast later. Check that out for sure. And I'll have the Steam sheet up within 90 minutes if I'm able to confirm some premium in Major League Baseball. Again, no reason to force anything, just grinding along. And best of luck to all this week. Big week of damage ahead.
All right, Gianni the Greek, thank you so much. Yanni's going to be in Newark, so we'll get some thoughts from him on UFC. Nice weekend for us. I stuck to my guns. We did not have any bets pre-fight in UFC. Live show went great, and we did have plays in PFL, swept the board, so really, really happy with that. We paper traded in UFC. Would have gone 2-1 for a little bit of profit, so that was good on our end. What do we have up today? Got a package with a little bit of everything. We got NBA, we got NHL, MLB. All of that is up at wt.buzz/AL, having a good year. About 30 units of profit for the year, and playoffs have just been lights out. Absolutely lights out. So 71% in NHL playoffs, and I believe we're at 60% in NBA playoffs. So it feels like a lot of people are doing good in playoffs, but I like having plays in multiple sports every night this time of year. So we got one package that's up. We still have our specials that are up for all handicappers. We got 3 days. That's discounted down to $49. We've got the 30 days where we're going to add 10 days and take $100 off. If you're wanting something a little bit more long-term, we are running our annual 1-year pass. It's only $99 per month. You do get that coupon that works for the entire year, so you can get whatever else you want on the website. So it's $99 a month. I believe a 30-day pass is normally $299. So mark this down to $99. If you've been on the fence about getting involved long-term, now is the perfect time of year to do that. So all those specials are on the specials page for every handicapper, including Bill Crackman. Let's bring in Bill and let's talk about something. Bill, happy Monday. How are you?
Hey, good. Sorry, I forgot the headset here. I'm actually in California, getting ready to drive back to Vegas. It's funny when you stay in my shows. When I do a show, it's spontaneous. It's not only about sports betting. So I'm so used to staying in casino hotels. So you're so used to staying in a nice casino hotel room, and they're just so much nicer than even I'm at 4 Point Sheridan, which is a nice place. It's actually nice, but listen, I get nervous when it says, "Please remove all your valuables from vehicle. Lock all doors and windows. Lock all doors and windows." Yeah, I mean,
windows.
Not
They're
like
coming
that.
in through windows.
Not comfortable like a bed in a hotel, in a casino hotel, but it's okay. Just that it's I had a run here for a couple of days, and I was in Atlantic City last weekend, so doing some traveling. kind of do that after basketball season, college basketball. So, yeah, over here in California, but a little bit gloomy outside. Heading back to Vegas here shortly. I'll do my stop in. Where do I stop? Barstow, Jenny's. It's there's a place called Jenny's. If no one ever, if you guys doing the drive, let me tell you something. Just make sure you're, make sure you're safe. But because Barstow is, my God, not the safest place too. You get out there, it's wherever you go though. You just got to be careful. But there's a place called Jenny's in Barstow. It's a little Mexican family, a beautiful family. They're such nice people. It's like they're cooking for you and right at their right at the restaurant for you. The entire family, homemade food, fantastic. Jenny's is great. I go there all the time, so I'll stop there. All right, enough plugs for people and Vegas and everything else.
All right, what are your like top hotels to stay in? Like, where have you been? Like, oh yeah, like you gotta stay there.
Wynn is number one. Wynn and Venetian next door is actually nice. They have great beds. Fontainebleau has really made a really good recovery. Fantastic place, Fontainebleau. But then I'll go over to the other side. Believe it or not, the lower end side, the Flamingo. They have great beds at the Flamingo. So, and I know people that stay there. Flamingo is a great hotel to stay at, and it's reasonable. And Caesars gives away rooms all the time. They're literally their company is so they're failing so much so that probably will stop though because they have to fix themselves. They're a total mess. But yeah. So in Atlantic City, I was just at the Golden Nugget. The beds are fine. Place is great. The Borgata, of course, probably the best there. Ocean and Borgata, I'll put the top two there. But, just the bed, the service, the California, not only California, just hotels were old. When you go to I go to places up and down the coast, Florida, Myrtle Beach, even you go up and down, even Jersey, the Jersey Shore. If you're not staying in a casino hotel room, you're staying in an older, hotel/motel room. You're not used to it. If you go to casinos, you guys know what I'm talking about, and most of you do. So when you stay at a place and you're paying like $300 a night, even sometimes, you just don't expect it to be. Any airport hotels, it's just so different. I actually got to give the casinos credit there. They always keep a real good place. But where's our buddy? You're solo today, huh?
Yeah, he literally has construction going on in his house. So he had to move everything out of his office and get carpet in there. He's here with us in spirit. He's producing, but he can't be on camera. So what are your thoughts on NBA playoffs so far?
I enjoyed that Knicks the Knicks series. I enjoyed the Lakers. I mean, some of these games that come down to the end are just so cool. And now you have the Knicks and the 76ers. I know the Knicks are about 2.5. Actually, I see some money coming on them on the 76ers earlier, series-wise, by the way. So I seen, but still about 2.5 to 1 favorite. I don't know. This game, this has like Game 7 written all over it too. So I do enjoy. Let me just see. Yeah. So they opened up like 280 down to like 250 favorite. The Sixers are at full strength now too. So. This might be a better series than the odds makers are giving it here. Timberwolves Spurs tonight. Minnesota shorthanded without Edwards, of course. I am rooting for them though. I'm not betting the individual game, but I did have a play on them, a future on them to win the West. So at like 12 to 1. So I'm rooting for them. Anyway, yeah. So, but Minnesota has been playing some smart basketball even without Edwards. So. I wouldn't be surprised to see if this game and maybe even the series, I'm hoping they're a big underdog in the series. I'm hoping they can keep it close and maybe come out with a really big upset. NBA props. Let me give you guys a prop too. Let's make sure I'm on BetMGM. I just wherever I'm at in the country, I just go on BetMGM. Just because I can get on the website. You don't have to log in. I think Caesars is the same way too. You don't have to log in. Okay. Embiid. Let me just check, guys. Embiid points and assists over 31.5 minus 120. He's listed as probable with the hip contusion, but he's going to play. the offense all runs through him, as you guys have seen the past 3 games since he's returned. He literally owned Towns. If you guys, I'm sure, watch him one-on-one, he just owned him. So hoping he's going to be scoring first, and if the Knicks start doubling on him, it could be the assist guy. So Embiid over 31.5 points, assists for game 1. There's a prop for you guys. Great weekend, up 12.5 units last 3 days. NBA props really good in the first round, 5-1. So things are going well over on the WagerTalk. I wanted to see what we had up, because I have an assistant that puts all my stuff up for me, everything I text them to put up. And we have baseball has been pretty good. Baseball's such a grind. It's so hard, and people that, even if you look at the results of baseball, and it's just, even if you're on a hot streak or you're doing good for the season, it's such a grind every day. So okay, great, I'm like 14-7 in the last couple of weeks. It's such a grind, though. I feel like I'm not even winning, and I am. I am winning, but it's every day. It's amazing. When I worked for a sports book. I worked for Pinnacle, which is now a big name, but Pinnacle's not the same Pinnacle it was 30 years ago when I was there. 29 years ago. So I remember one of the owners, he used to get so excited for baseball season. And I would ask why. This is not the NFL. Because it's every day. Even though the juice is less, the customers were laying a lot less back then. They were laying like 103 on both sides compared to 105 on both sides, or 110. Now it's 110 both sides. All the new sports books came to the country. I just seen a sports book the other day have minus 140, come back 110. I mean, why don't you just use a friggin' mask and a gun to steal their money? I mean, minus 140, come back 110. Unbeatable. Baseball unbeatable at those numbers. But he used to get so excited for baseball, Andy, because baseball's every day. Even though it was less juice, every day. They make more money baseball season than any other season, but that makes sense. 162 games compared to that on only 17, 18 for some of the other major sports, and that's why NBA, NFL, very tough to beat. But I have a friend that I really respect. He's telling me that baseball is one of the hardest to beat, and I know that the guys at Pinnacle always told me they made a ton of money during baseball season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's getting, I want to say easier, but it's with more props and more, first 5 innings and team totals. Once there's more options for us as handicappers in a certain sport, the options just make it a little bit easier for us. But yeah, like baseball, there was one year we went like the whole season, and I think we were up like 5 units at the end of the season. It was like, what a waste of time. I can't believe we just spent 9 months of our lives for 5 freaking units. So I'm with you though. Baseball it's the ultimate grind, man.
Hey, a win's a win though. If you're talking 5 units of dogs or whatever, I try not to give out any big favorites. Years ago I would never even give out a favorite over $1.20. But I've evolved a little bit, dealing with some of the sharpest syndicates, sports betting syndicates in the world. I have evolved, and early in the season, though, it's hard to lay any giant juice. More like late in the season, you can lay it a little bit after All-Star break and such. But yeah, it's been a grind, but it's been good. I've actually ran a little bit lucky, and I'm going to say a little bit lucky. Because you can run unlucky too. I've ran unlucky in hockey. I lost 4 games in overtime or double overtime, all like underdogs too. It's ridiculous. So it can happen. So you need luck on your side too. And I know people say, well, it's a skill-based game. It's analytics, and you're supposed to. Yeah, I understand, but you have to run good too. I've dealt with the great Alan Boston for the last 25 years. Alan, literally, he ran unlucky end game and still won like 60 units a few years ago when I was with him. And this year of course, we know he had a great run this year. So you have to have luck on your side. You have to be positive. You have to go in with a good attitude. I know so many people that go to the gambling in general, with bad attitudes, and you have to have a good attitude, positive attitude, and treat it like a job. Treat it like you put your bets in, but you don't go and at the end of the night, if you have a losing night, which everyone does have losing nights, you don't just go chasing the late game just to try to get out. Tomorrow's another day. That's the way it works. It's all about those skill sets of bankroll management and literally knowing that today, whatever happens today does not affect tomorrow or the next day. There's always going to be a chance to get out, or get your money back. But I have never even thought like that in years. But I know people that are watching think like that, so I want to make sure you know that is the improper way. Long term, we're going to kill them. We have proven that. I've been telling people right here in this space since literally. I told people to get on through the Super Bowl props 7-0. Get on through March Madness. March Madness killed. It's just I know what I do on NBA props, NFL props. Right now we have a good little streak going in baseball. NBA props killing it. So get on board, and I can't wait till preseason football. Only a few months away.
That's amazing, man. Preseason almost upon us. So Bill Crackman, all of his plays are up at WagerTalk. Bill, thank you very much. Safe travels, and say hi to everyone at Jenny's.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So the word is coming out that Anthony Edwards, this comes from Shams, was a significant participant in Timberwolves shoot around this morning. That blows my mind, man. When I saw that injury, I thought, oh, he's done for the postseason, probably done for next season, and here he is. He's going to play in round one. I don't know. We'll see how good he was. He was hurt before that. He wasn't nearly as effective as he normally is. So he's probably not going to be 100% tonight, but incredible by him. So you know who else is incredible is Steve Merril, and he's going to join us. And damn it, Steve, we look like
So Andy, I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't know Dan wasn't on today. So I made the odds 80%, and I always joke about I'm going to wear this shirt, but I don't. I was like, I'm doing it on purpose today, but I thought Dan would be our buffer. Look, we can bump W's. Right. Let's bump W's. Superpowers activate.
Boom. The W stands for wins.
All right, form of winners.
Yes. Let's see here. What you got several games to talk about. I want to get to baseball in a second, but I do just want to get your overall thoughts here on NBA. What did you see in the first round? Any takeaways? What are you looking at in NBA?
Yeah, I'll say this for a takeaway in round one is that, the historical data set that I've used for the last 30 years kind of held up, but at times it didn't. And I do a daily video with every game every day. I've got both of the Monday night games in a deep dive 15-minute videos, so people can go get my deep take on both games tonight. 76ers, Knicks, Timberwolves, Spurs. And by the way, I did mention in the video that I recorded yesterday for Monday that Anthony Edwards has returned to the court. He's listed as questionable. I don't expect him to play. The line was 13 last night when I recorded, and now it is 12. So there's definitely a chance Edwards might be coming back. It shocks me as well. He was projected to be out 2 weeks, which means game 4 was supposed to be when he could maybe return, if at all, in this series. He might step up, have a good game. I don't think he's 100% healthy if he plays either way. I still like the Spurs. I mentioned him in the video, and I'd almost like the Spurs more at, say, -10 with Edwards. And then, without Dosunmu is supposed to play. He obviously has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting without him. But overall, the first round was kind of choppy, and people were, happy when I went 6-0 one night on all the sides, totals, player props, and then we went 0-3 after that. And they're like, what's happening, Steve? I mean, chill out, folks. It's a long grind, and we don't just always use the zigzag. But I thought the Celtics were the better team. They blew a 3-1 lead, but then again, Embiid returned, and they're a much better team with Embiid. He's an MVP caliber player, and as Bill Krackomberger just said, he's a huge matchup for them against the Knicks. In fact, he played 2 of the 4 regular season meetings against New York, and he dominated both those games. So I do agree with Bill. I think his over props for points, assists are going to be worth a look. And keep in mind, Andy, he missed game 4. He played game 4. The Celtics won that, had to work him back in, but then they won the next 3 games with Embiid. It wasn't misleading. And he was only 3 for 20 from 3-point range. Not that he's a 3-point shooter, but he's only 3 for 20 from 3-point range. And he still played well, and they won with him. So that should be a good series there. Detroit and Cleveland hurt me at times because I thought they were the superior teams. The zigzag didn't always work there. I did use them both in the video yesterday on Sunday, and they dominated Game 7s as expected. So the home teams went 2-1 in Game 7 this past weekend. It's still 74% all-time in the NBA. And we often see some good defensive intensity. And Andy, a trick I use in Game 7s, because the odds makers are onto this, that Detroit total yesterday was 19 points lower than the Game 1 total on the same court. That's how much they adjusted it. The Cleveland total was 10 points lower than the game one total 2 weeks earlier on the same court. So look, the odds makers are on to the fact that game sevens have defensive intensity. A little trick you can use those to play the team you think might lose under, and that's what I mentioned with like Orlando and Toronto. So just some stuff to look ahead as we go into round 2 here. But once again, every game, every day, including both games tonight, deep dive here on WagerTalk TV. So click subscribe and click that bell for instant alerts.
Yeah, I thought Philly looked incredible. It's like one of those teams where, do they happen to be peaking at the right time, and are they healthy? Like that 25-game suspension for Paul George looks like it helped him. He come back. He's fresh. He's not worn down. Like,
well, the other players learned to play together too, right?
Beat up.
You got like 4 good with Edgecombe too. You got like 4 legitimate threats out there, which is sometimes a problem because there's only one basketball. But if you look at like Maxey, George, Embiid, I think they still all averaged around like 20 in that series. Obviously, Embiid wasn't in all those games. How about this, Andy? I'm pretty sure the MVP or the Coach of the Year voting probably happened before the playoffs started, right? Because Kalshi has Mazzola at 97% as of last week to be the Coach of the Year. I don't think he gets fired. I said last year he should be fired when the Celtics did the same thing. I think it was last year or the year before when they had a 3-1 lead. They keep taking 53 pointers a game. They have a 20-point lead in games that they blew last year, and they're taking 20, 33s after that. That Mazzola should be fired last year. I said that last year. Comes back. He's going to be Coach of the Year. How crazy could it be possible that a guy gets fired and gets Coach of the Year? I mean, would they have to go back and do like a recount? It's pretty wild to think.
It is possible. And like we talked about this on the show. He couldn't figure out his rotations in the playoffs. Like guys were playing weird minutes, and then what was that starting lineup he did for the last game? It was really, really bizarre. I mean, listen. If Billy Donovan is sitting out there, I think Billy Donovan's a really
right.
Good
Well, that's
coach,
the example I was going to use as well, right? If Donovan gets fired, why can't? But I said this last year, and it's the same stuff repeating itself, right? Like you just said, the rotations, questionable decisions. What it was last year was one of the games they were up by like 20, and they kept chucking up threes, and they lost the game. Like you have to manage the game at that point, right? It's like in football, you're up 21 points in football. You kind of run the clock a little bit. You run the ball. You know, it's just. I don't know, suspect. And he keeps getting bailed out because Tatum gets hurt last year. Tatum wasn't healthy this year. That's why he missed game 7. That wasn't a total shock either. That'll probably save his job, I guess, because he didn't have Tatum. But yeah, it's interesting.
Well, we'll move on to Major League Baseball, but I can't believe they were playing Tatum as much as they did. I mean,
he was never right.
No.
And that's like Edwards. Edwards is a knee injury. And DiFicenzo's not coming back. He ruptured his Achilles, by the way, so he's still going to be out. But Edwards, I mean, you really risk the franchise. The Spurs are a good team. I'll leave it at this, but there's only one NBA team that ranked top 3, actually even ranked top 6 in both offense and defensive efficiency this year, and it wasn't the Thunder. Thunder was number 1 in defense. They were number 7 in offense. The Spurs were number 3 in both. Wow. And they missed several games without Wemby, the defensive player of the year. They're a really good team, and I know they don't have that experience factor, but I don't see Minnesota winning this series, even if Edwards is in there. And if not, I think it could get ugly.
Yeah, Edwards, I'd be worried about. I'd be worried about calf injury. when have we seen this? Like this is terrifying.
You know that as a Pacer fan, right?
Yes, I absolutely did.
No question that Halliburton would never have been in a regular season game last year in that situation. I hated to see it too, because I like seeing guys push through for their team when they're getting paid $50 million. It's nice to see that still, including Edwards tonight. I mean, more power to him. It's nice that these guys want to win, but
I'd be terrified.
The way he plays too, Andy, I mean, he's like a high flyer. I mean, his game is like 110%, right? That's a recipe for, and you hate to say I told you so, but I think you and I are both on the same page there.
Well, let's break down a couple of MLB games. We're going to talk Red Sox, Tigers, Reds, Cubs. Let's start with Red Sox and Tigers. Tigers coming off a really, just 2 dominant wins against Texas, and Red Sox are putting Tolley out there. He had a pretty good first outing, second outing, not so much. And you kind of got to wonder if the shine of the manager being fired and the team winning, you wonder if that has kind of gone away here a little bit. Might be the same old with the Red Sox. But Detroit, huge favorite. How do you break this down?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, you got to kind of look at current form in baseball. It's 162 games, and there are ebb and flows. And we talk about the daily sports, basketball, baseball, and hockey. When you have like a manager change or a coach change, it can light a spark. This is a Red Sox team, though, that I just don't think is very good. Also, you got to wonder what they got left after a tough loss against Houston yesterday on Sunday at home. Extra inning loss. They had dropped 3 of their 4 previous games after the 3 wins. And then they lose an extra inning game against the Astros yesterday. Now they have to travel without rest against a Detroit team that remains home after the 3-game stand against Texas. And as you pointed out, 12-2 on Saturday and Sunday. So it does look like there's some good offensive momentum. Better team, better offensive momentum. I mean, the Red Sox, even with some wins recently, after that 3-game win streak in which they put up 27 runs, they have scored a total, including the extra inning game, a total of 8 runs the last 5 games. So this is not an offense in good current form. 2 teams look like they're heading in opposite directions. Home field, travel edge, and then the pitching edge as well. We got Screwball on the mound. One of the best pitchers in baseball the last few years, to say the least. I mean, a 2.4 ERA 2 years ago, 2.2 last year, 2.7 this year, 45 strikeouts and 6 walks. They've got all the edges here, so really don't overthink this one with Detroit. Just a matter of how you want to play it. I'm not big on laying juicy money lines in baseball. It's around minus 190, but you can get plus money at minus 1.5, plus 110 on the run line. And the fact that the Tigers did put up 12 runs the last 2 days means I think they can win by margin here as well. If you're going to play it, I would lay it with the Tigers, minus 190 or minus 1.5, plus 110. A lot of sports books have the minus 1 run line. And the great Dave Koken used to say this on the baseball shows with me 5-6 years ago here on WagerTalk TV. If you don't have a minus 1 run line, back then not as many people had it. If you don't have it now, you can always create one by putting half a unit on the money line, half a unit on the run line, and then I would get it down to probably that minus 145 range or so is what it should be. So Tigers minus 1 run line, minus 1.5, or money line, however you want to cut it. That'd be the only way I play it tonight.
Before we get to the Reds and the Cubs, just a reminder, guys, check the weather in this game. I know there's potentially rain in this one. I believe the wind is blowing a little bit, but not too much. So check weather here. But Steve, let's pretend that the weather is perfectly fine and we're going to get a full game in. So what do we do here? We got Petty making his, I believe it's his first start this year in the majors. We got Cabrera going for the Reds. What do you think?
I will say one thing about rain in baseball. I'm always hesitant to use games that might get rained out, not just because it might be a no play, but also because it does bring an uncertainty element, especially with the pitchers and the hitters when if they're sitting for a while, or if they start the game and then they don't bring the starters back. So I'm always cautious. But with the Chicago Cub games, even if it's a perfectly sunny day, we're always checking the weather in Chicago because of the wind. And look, you don't have to be a meteorologist to kind of know which way the wind is blowing, because when you see a posted total of 11.5 in a Cubs home game, you kind of know the wind's probably blowing out. And when I last checked, it is blowing out directly to center field as of now. So that's why the total is so high. No, they didn't move this game to Coors Field. No, they didn't elevate the city of Chicago 2,000 feet suddenly. The wind is blowing out to center field, as you can tell by the 11.5 game total. And another situation where it looks like a complete mismatch on the pitching mound, and also the better team overall with the Cubs. And they're laying about minus 200 in this game. So here again, look at that run line, minus 1.5, minus 115. And you'll notice almost the same money line, but this is 20-25%. It's higher than the Tiger line because of the higher total. When you have an 11.5, when you have more runs projected, it is easier for a team to win by margin. So I do like the Cubs run line minus 1.5, minus 115 in this game. They enter in solid current form, 5 straight wins. They've put up 5 runs or more in 4 of those last 5 wins. Meanwhile, the Reds have lost 4 out of 5. They just got swept at Pittsburgh, and they only scored 8 total runs, and their pitching was horrendous, giving up 27 runs in those 3 games. And I don't think the pitching is going to be even better tonight. The bullpen has been taxed this past weekend, and that's not a good thing because this is not a good pitcher on the mound here. Chase Petty. Let me put this in perspective for you, Andy. He has started 2 games in Major League Baseball, and he has 3 losses. That's pretty hard to do. You might say it's impossible, but he's been in 3 games. He's 0-3, 2 starts and a relief appearance. He's got a loss in all 3 career Major League Baseball games. That's a pretty cool stat to have. Let's just call it quits now, Chase Petty, and go down in history as one of the worst ever. First-round draft pick in 2021, and he finally made his MLB debut in 2026. I think that kind of tells you all you need to know. And I like to look at AAA stats for guys. You know, a lot of people say, oh, we don't know what we're working with here. Well, first of all, we kind of do, because in his 2 starts this season on April 30th and May 11th, he had a 19.5 ERA, I believe, in all 3 outings, including a 21.9 ERA in those 2 starts. They put him back down to AAA Louisville, 4.4 ERA this season in 6 games and starts. But here's what jumps out to me. AAA Louisville, full season last year, 26 starts, 6.4 ERA in AAA. It ain't going to get no better here in the majors. If you're going to play it, I would lay it. It's a big total, so I'm not in a hurry to jump over it. What you could do, though, is look at the Cubs team total over 6.5. So Cubs team total over 6.5. Cubs -1.5, -115 run line. Here again, if you're going to play it, I would lay it with the home favorite.
6.5 is it's crazy. You don't see those lines very often. That is a lot of runs.
Andy, even in San Diego, they put up 20 runs in 3 games last week. And I'm looking now, they have scored 5 or more in 5 of their last 6. They have scored 6 or more in 4 of their last 6. And the wind's blowing out. And you got, I mean, I don't want to overreact. It's like, well, maybe, why is he in the rotation? Like, 5 years, he couldn't get to the majors as a first-round pick. And he had a 6.4 ERA last year and 26 AAA starts. Like, there's nothing there, man. It's like they just don't have anything else. It's like sometimes it's too obvious and we overthink it. I don't know. They'll probably win. The Reds will probably win 1-0 tonight. You know how this works.
it's baseball. Like it just yeah. It goes out, throws a gem.
Don't you love that though, Andy? He started 2 games in the MLB and he's 0-3. That's the only one's better than that. The only one better than that is my James Blair Lady Spiders middle school softball team last year, who had a rough season, but they had a lockdown pitcher, and they lost this game. But she had 20 strikeouts in 5 innings, and they lost. And I told a non-baseball person that. They're like, "How's that possible?" The backup catcher was playing. The other girl was sick. Apparently, she kept dropping the third strikes over and over again. Not good enough to throw them out at first, obviously. 20 strikeouts in 5 innings, and they lost. They got blown out, I think. That's another incredible stat in baseball that you can sneak in sometimes.
I officiated a girls' basketball game, and one team didn't have enough players. Their team was coming from another location. So one of the girls from the other team played the first half with that right. team, and then jumped over and played with her team, and she led both teams in scoring.
Wow, that's cool. I've done that in like rec league games. We've done that before. Yeah, it's I did it this past winter in our 14U rec boys. The other team had 4. I had like 8 or 9, and we gave them the one kid, and then it was kind of a blowout. So then we gave him our best kid in the second half, and we did that. And he very well might have led both teams. Also, now that you say that's actually I think that might have happened to me even this winter. But it's fun. I mean, let them play, right? It's like, let them play.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the final scores of these games are like 14-12. Like 6 points, You're probably going to be the leading scorer.
Yeah, I was going to ask you when you said girls basketball. I've been there. I was going to say what age?
Little.
Yes. Oh, man. Yes. It's rough. Even at the JV high school level, as you know, it can be pretty rough at times. And as you get younger at any boys or girls basketball, it's half rugby, half 30 jump balls. You almost have to stop calling them at some point. More power to you, man, for doing that. I appreciate it. We need more officials out there. As you know, there's a real shortage in both baseball and basketball, the 2 sports I'm really active in. And it's baseball. It's like literally we either get high school kids who are great, by the way, but they're not available during the season, like in the spring. We either have 17-year-olds or 70-year-olds. There's no in between anymore with baseball. And that makes sense. Like I'm not umpiring, I'm coaching, and I don't really want to be back there. And the parents are making it worse than ever, as you know, also. But yeah, anybody out there who's watching, I mean, obviously we have sports fans watching WagerTalk TV. If you want to give back, I mean, volunteer, you get paid. I mean, you get a couple $100, but it's there's a shortage of officials, baseball, football, basketball. Like if you want to get active, it's a great thing to do. And I think most people really do enjoy it when they do it as well.
I used to love it. I did it for like 20 years. And then I didn't do it for a long time. And because of COVID, then I realized I didn't miss it at all. Like, and it's the parents. Sadly, it's the parents. It's
the worst it's ever been. It is. And it's like, I tell myself, Andy, like over the years, I've mellowed out. Like I will not say a word anymore to basketball. And I know most of the officials pretty well, like friendly wise. And, but seriously, like I tell the parent, I was like, we don't have games if we don't have officials. We can have all the players and the coaches in the world. Like we do not have games. And if you all keep this up, we ain't going to have games. And it also doesn't help you as a coach, right? I mean, if you get them pissed off, like you're not going to get a call. Like that's the other thing I tell people. It's like, you're not helping the team by getting them mad at us.
What do you have up for everyone today on this Monday?
Yeah. So, I mean, WagerTalk's got some great specials right now in the month of May. May specials are here. We got a 3-day for $49. That's a great starter package. A 1 month with an instant $100 discount is also great, as you see. and an extra 10 days included. So not only are you getting a 30-day with $100 off, but you're getting 10 more days included. So it's a 40-day for less than a normal 30-day and $100 off. And then also the 1-year all access, the biggest discount we'll offer all year. Instant $800 plus discount, bonus 25% coupon. That works out to literally $1 a play. Everyone's going to get excited about $5 Tuesday tomorrow. How about getting every play for about $1 for the next year, 365 straight days and nights? No promo codes needed. Oh, no, don't forget bonus free play. I put a bonus free play on my page every day, Merril, WagerTalk.com. And hey, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM.
Steve Merril, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck on all your plays, and be kind. Be kind to the umpires. As
you know, it's. I'll be honest. It's a really good life lesson. Be kind. In what aspect of life are you better off having more enemies than friends? Seriously, it's just like
screaming at another human being,
or just in life in general. Like you see 10 people, none of them hate you. Like, how's that going to help your life, right? It's just like, be kind. Andy Lang is one of the kindest human beings ever, so he can say that. But yeah, same with the comments, right? We love the comments. We reply back. Had a couple losses earlier this week in the NBA playoffs, and like 3 or 4 people out of 20,000. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, just some sad individuals out there that they feel better about themselves when they feel somebody else doesn't have a winning day, right? It tells you a lot about people.
We need to set up a hotline at Wager Talk where people can just call in and vent.
That's called customer service, and there's an email address for that. And boy, do I not envy that. Boy, do I not envy the ladies. They're the greatest human beings on earth. They would make great officials, by the way. They'd be like, they wouldn't care. They'd be like Melissa and Missy and all of them. Oh my goodness, they would be like rock walls. Paula Ann, all of you wouldn't even call it technical. It wouldn't even phase you.
Steve,
we should have
everyone.
Yellow cards and red cards for clients if they overcross the line, Andy. There we go.
Oh, well, we joked. Think about how well this would go over in your marriage here, Steve. So, so when you commit a foul in UFC, they take a point away. They like drag him into the middle of the ring and take a point away. My buddy was like, if my wife messes up, I may just take her to the middle of the living room and signal I'm taking a point away.
My soccer buddies in college used to carry yellow and red cards with them. They pull them out at parties and stuff. They go right to their face. So, like, I could see where you're going with that. It's
a good one.
Of all the props I have, I was never a soccer guy because I don't have yellow or red cards. Because how great would that be if you're on a show and you disagree with the other guy's pick? Just hold up like a red card. If you really disagree, you hold up a red card. If you lean the other way, a yellow card. Awesome.
Love it.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Steve. Have a good one. All right, guys, we're going to go all around the world, and then we are done for today. Again, please hit the like button. Really helps us out. Let's go over a few games that are taking place tonight. Flyers and Hurricanes. I'm looking at the under 5.5. Dan, your Flyers, that was a rough game one. The Hurricanes are really, really good, and that was a suffocating performance. The Flyers only had 19 shots. They didn't score any goals. Final score was 3-0. I kind of expect the Hurricanes to do it again. So I like the under. I don't see a lot of goals in this one. We talked a lot about the Knicks and 76ers. I like the 7.5. I like getting over 7 points. That 6 to 7 point range doesn't feel right to me. I think the 76ers team is live. I think they're healthy, and I think Embiid knows this is going to be one of the last chances he has to make a deep run into the playoffs. So I think you're getting full effort from him. He's not healthy. Is he ever going to be healthy? Probably not, but I could see this being a really, really close game. These teams know each other really well. So I'll take 76ers plus 7.5. And then the Ducks and the Golden Knights. This is the opposite of Flyers and Hurricanes. These are two offenses that can absolutely explode. This is a Golden Knights team that scored 5 goals in 3 straight games. This is a Ducks team. They've had totals of 7, 11, 10, 7. The game they lost against Edmonton, they only scored 1, but I see a lot of goals in that game. So player props overs in the Ducks Golden Knights, but Flyers Hurricanes, I'd be looking at unders. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Great show. Thank you to the guests. Thank you to Gianni. Thank you to Bill. Thank you to Steve Merril. Thank you to Dan for being here in spirit. Appreciate you always and appreciate you guys in the chat. Please hit the like button and leave a comment below. And Dan, do we have the 3-day pass, the winner from Friday? I don't know. There we go. Matt Ryan. By the way, I think he was the only person that posted he agreed with me. So like when everyone was on Madalena, I was like, Pratez, and I was stunned. A lot of people were on Madalena in the comment section. So congratulations, Matt Ryan, 10. Matt Ryan, 10. You are the winner of the 3-day passage. You're the only person to agree with me. So, all right, that's going to do it. Have a great day. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Good luck on your bets and take care.